Hello everyone. My name is Peter. Welcome to the true stories being shared here. Please sit back and listen to today's story. My best friend did something terrible at a mutual family friend's wedding and blamed it on my sister. I am considering cutting ties with her but am struggling with the decision. Hello Reddit. This is a somewhat unusual situation, but I'm going to try to explain it as best as I can. The story involves me, my best friend Caroline, my sister Nicola, and our mutual friend/groomsman Daniel. I'm using real names because I know Caroline doesn't use Reddit, and if anyone who witnessed this happens to see this, I want them to know the real truth of the story. So, last weekend, a very close family friend of mine and Caroline's got married. Caroline and I have been best friends for years. We met when we were little, our moms are best friends, our sisters are friends, etc. You get the picture. We knew both our families would be invited to this wedding, and we had been looking forward to it for months. It's important to note that Caroline's family and mine share a lot of mutual friends, and this was going to be a very big wedding. The guest list was about 500 people. Everything was going well and great until Caroline completely exhausted my patience. She kept talking to me about how hot one of the groomsmen, Daniel, was, and how she's had a crush on him for years, but he's never shown any interest. This is probably because he's in a serious relationship and has been dating his current girlfriend for about 6 years. His girlfriend decided not to attend this wedding because she didn't know the bride and groom well, and since Daniel would be busy as a groomsman, she wouldn't get to see him much anyway. Fast forward a few hours, and Caroline was all over Daniel. She kept asking him to dance with her, get her drinks from the open bar, etc. She was blatantly throwing herself at him, and it was embarrassing and painful to watch. I tried intervening a few times to pull her away from him, but she got snippy with me. At that point, I decided it wasn't my problem. Besides, Daniel wasn't exactly pushing her away. He seemed like he'd had a few drinks and was somewhat interested in Caroline. I figured if he didn't care, then I certainly wasn't going to. If he wanted to throw away his relationship, that wasn't something I was concerned with. I tried. I didn't witness the next part, but by the end of the night, Caroline and Daniel had sex in another room at the venue. Yes, things escalated quickly. Unfortunately for them, someone I'm not sure who, just some mom who knows Daniel and his girlfriend, but doesn't know Caroline, walked in on them, and for some reason Caroline told this woman that she was Nicola, my sister. I don't know if she was ashamed or drunk or what, but she deliberately claimed to be Nicola so that Caroline wouldn't get in trouble. The news quickly spread that Daniel and Nicola were caught having sex, and Nicola was absolutely humiliated. People were talking about how disrespectful, home-wrecking, rude, and slutty Nicola was. Honestly, I can't even blame them. If I didn't know better, I would have thought the same things. To top it all off, Caroline went around telling others that it was Nicola and confirming the rumor she had started. The bride and groom were furious. Everyone was trash-talking my sister, and Caroline seemed not to care. In fact, when I asked her about the wedding situation, she flat out denied it. If Daniel hadn't confirmed that he had hooked up with Caroline and not Nicola, I probably would have believed her. The next day, Caroline texted Nicola a half-hearted apology about the whole thing, saying she was too drunk and didn't know what she was doing. The messages were littered with ha-ha and lol, so I'm not sure how seriously Caroline is taking this situation. She doesn't seem to realize just how humiliated Nicola is. Nicola genuinely thinks her life is ruined. We live in a very tight-knit community, and so many people have heard the misinformation about what happened. I don't know what to do. Up until this point, Caroline has been a very good friend to both me and Nicola. I just don't know if I can forgive her for this, especially when she seems so oblivious to how truly terrible this situation is. Should I drop her? Or should I give her another chance? Our friendship will be different regardless. My family now looks at Caroline in a completely different light, so even if I do forgive her, We won't be able to do many of the same things as before, hanging out at my house, doing things with my family, etc. What should I do, Reddit? Edit. At this point, many people know that it was Caroline with Daniel and not Nicola. However, I'm not sure how many is many. Our family friends know, but there were plenty of wedding guests who know Caroline's family better than they know ours. I'm sure those people still think it was Nicola. Edit 2. Another issue is that Nicola is also worried about potential fallout from Daniel's current girlfriend. I have absolutely no update on the girlfriend's situation. I don't know her well, and I don't know what Daniel has chosen to share with her, if anything. Edit 3. Because so many people asked me how I could still consider Caroline a friend. Before this experience, she really was an amazing friend. Of course, we had our ups and downs like any friends do, but she's always been kind and considerate, and I truly valued our friendship. I've known her my whole life, and the night at the wedding was very out of character for her, including the fact that she hooked up with a man who's in a relationship. It's incredibly difficult to walk away from a friendship with someone you've been close to for over 15 years, though I'm prepared to do so if that's the right thing. TLDR best friend hooked up with a groomsman, got caught at a mutual friend's wedding, and when caught, said she was my sister. Everyone is mad at my sister, and I don't know how to move forward. My family and I have tried to clear things up, but it's really hard to dispel a rumor that has spread to so many people, many of whom we're not very close with, mainly because no one really wants to talk about it directly with us. Most of the talk happens behind our backs, but of course we know what's going on. Update. 6 days later. First of all, I want to send a huge thank you to everyone who responded. I definitely didn't expect such an outpouring of help and guidance from everyone. This community is amazing, and I truly appreciate everyone's time and advice. Unfortunately, I couldn't reply to many people's posts because I stepped away from the thread overnight, and by the time I woke up, it was locked, so I think the least I can do is provide an update. So about a week and a half ago, Caroline randomly called me and asked to stay over. She wanted to attend an event downtown, and my place is much closer to the event than hers. At this point, it was clear that Caroline had no idea anyone was upset with her, despite the fact that Nicola and I hadn't spoken to her since the wedding. I told Caroline that I didn't think her staying over was a good idea, and when she asked why, I brought up the wedding incident again. She laughed and said Nicola needed to grow up and get over it, and she seemed to genuinely expect me to agree and laugh along with her. Well, Reddit, I took your advice and let her have it. I told her how selfish and inconsiderate she was, and that if it was really no big deal, then she should have no problem taking full responsibility for her actions and publicly admitting that she was the one who hooked up with Daniel and not Nicola. I told her she needed to make things right because Nicola is still suffering over something she didn't do. At the end of the call, I gave her an ultimatum: post an apology on Facebook and reveal what really happened, or our friendship was over, thanks to the Redditor who suggested this. To my complete and utter surprise, she did it. I thought it would make me feel better, but in reality, people are commenting on her FB status praising her for her bravery and for doing the right thing. I'm incredibly annoyed because, of course, she never would have done this if I hadn't forced her to. But at the end of the day, Nicola is happy, and her name has been cleared. Oh, and an update on Daniel and his girlfriend. According to his Instagram, they're still happily together. Whether she knows about Caroline or not, I have no idea, and I don't care. Not my shipwreck. TLDR gave Caroline an ultimatum to post the truth on Facebook or end our friendship. She posted it on Facebook. Daniel and his girlfriend are still happily together. I'm still rolling my eyes,